are a couple of references in that song, in the lyrics, that you may not get. Do you guys know who Satchel Paige is? No. Satchel Paige was a pitcher of American baseball at the turn of the 20th century. He pitched well into his 50s. He was widely considered the greatest pitcher of his generation, but he pitched in the segregated Negro leagues and not in the major leagues of American baseball. So when the color line was finally broken in 1945 by Jackie Robinson, Satchel Paige at that point was already, I don't know, probably 40 years old, well past his prime as an athlete. So there's a line in that song where it says that it's too late for Satchel Paige, meaning it's too late for him to play against the toughest competition and be recognized as the greatest pitcher in baseball, even though everyone in baseball already knew that he was the greatest pitcher in baseball. And there are a number of little... And Gary Cooper played Lou Gehrig in the movie The Pride of the Yankees, I think. I still haven't checked it out. I mean, we recorded that song a long time ago, and I couldn't remember it at the time, and I think that was him. Lou Gehrig is a baseball player who, there's a neurological disease named after him because he had a degenerative neurological condition, the same condition that Stephen Hawking has, but it started much later in his life, and he died of it, whereas Stephen Hawking is still rolling around, which is inspiring children somehow, which is kind of incredible. And then, but he was an very famous American actor, and he was one of the highest paid entertainers. And concurrent with his rise to fame was a vaudeville entertainer named Sammy Davis, who became famous as one of the cohorts of Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack. And he had a signature stage move where he would slide across the stage on his knees. He was a tap dancer. And he would do this elaborate tap dancing thing, and then he would slide all the way across the stage on his knees because the stage had been waxed so that he could slide. And therefore, he developed very shiny knees. There's a reference that the entire song is basically playing off the relative aspects of fame, celebrity, and utility in segregated United States prior to the generally accepted dawn of a desegregated era, which was the passage of the Civil Rights Act in 1965. But so that's it. It's very few words. Each one of them has a lot of layers on it in it, and it seems odd to me whenever we play that song in a place where people aren't going to get any of the references. But that was sort of all of them unwound for you. Storytellers.
So, just get the issue goes. Good?
Golden.
Hey!
Go Ludwig artist, Todd Turner.
Favorite part of the show is when we get to the drums only part of that song. We get to walk off stage and stare at Todd. It's my favorite part of the show.
Okay, any more? Get with the guitar questions. Any more questions about gear?
Like bass? Any more questions?
No,
about,
no.
questions about the bass, for example?
Yeah, I already
Bass?
answered the bass
There's a bass question over here.
Turn it up.
Bobby Bananas. Don't be shy.
Does Bob endorse Tym bass cabinets?
Do I endorse what? Tim bass cabinets? No, I do not. I endorse Electro Voice 15-inch speaker bass cabinets only.
Will you in the future?
Is age an issue for Shellac?
We
No,
are
I
old.
think, as long as she's half your age plus 4. Right? 4? Half plus 4? 29.
We've been doing this for a very long time. We've kind of gauged our expectations according to our ability. Like we just don't set ourselves up to do things that we're not capable of doing anymore. Like when you're young and made out of rubber, you can do anything. You can play 30 shows in a row, drive 8 hours every day, sleep on couches. Everything's great, and those can be awesome experiences,
Yeah, it's really fun when you're 20.
And you can recover any diseases you catch. You can recover from. There's plenty of time. Like if wounds heal, you break a bone, big deal. It'll grow back, right? But when you get to be our age, I'm 53. You're 50.
50.
Todd's you're 51 or 52. Somewhere in there. But when you get to be our age, you've seen more sunsets than you're going to see, and it's you ratchet things down to a point where you can do it without hurting yourself.
Huh? Say what?
Yeah, we've done more shellac albums than we're gonna. I don't know about that because we're pretty stubborn. Most bands have given up by now.
Someone over here had
Yeah, Steve, what effects pedals do you use and why?
I have a noise gate, which does nothing more than just shut my guitar off when I'm not playing it. This is with the noise gate on. This is with it off. So you can hear little tiny handling noises and stuff.
Yeah.
And with it on, you don't hear those little noises. It's basically, it just tidies up the bits where I'm not playing. So that's on all the time. There's a fuzz pedal which I haven't used yet. I think I will use it briefly in the next song. It's called a
show them what it sounds like.
It's called a harmonic percolator. It's a kind of an extreme fuzz. It's rude. Legitimately, it plays the guitar for me. So if I'm busy, otherwise I can. The guitar, it takes care of all that for me. It also does a really cool thing. It doesn't always do it. Let's see if it's going to do it. There's a whistling that it does. Like most distortion pedals or overdrives or whatever, if you turn them up really loud, your pickups become microphonic. Your pickups behave like a microphone and then they'll squeal. This has I don't know what it does, I don't know how, but it allows you to tune that whistling. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Which, again, very useful if I don't feel like actually playing the guitar. Oh yeah, and when I said your pickups are always slightly microphonic, they make some sound. But the system of the pickup and the strings and the windings and everything you can treat it like a microphone if you have enough gain on it. You can actually just. So, you can actually use that effect. This guitar has been serviced recently, so it's less microphonic, which means that it's much more reliable. Unfortunately, also slightly less fun.
Could you explain the strap?
Yeah, Steve wears a strap around his waist.
Oh.
this is the strap around the waist is a thing I developed when I was a teenager. In my first band, I had a bass guitar that was extremely heavy. I played bass in this band, and I was a really scrawny little runt. And bass really hurt my neck because it was super heavy. And I thought that there must be a better way to do that, because after playing for an hour, it was really, really sore. So I experimented just taking a normal guitar strap, extra long guitar strap, just wrapped around my waist, and it just seemed to make perfect sense to me. Wherever I go, there my guitar is waiting for me. You know, like I don't have to like bring it with me. It's just automatic. It's always in the same relative position to my body. So whether I'm bending down or standing up or spinning around or whatever, the guitar is always in exactly the same position. And this may come into effect into play with other instruments, but Travis Bean guitars, the guitar that I play is Travis Bean, has a metal neck. And the metal neck is a single piece of aluminum that goes from there all to inside the body. So the strings are attached at both ends of a single piece of aluminum. So if I bend that aluminum, it changes the pitch of the string. And that's an effect that I use kind of a lot just to entertain myself on stage. And it works with harmonics as well as normal notes and stuff. And when the guitar is physically strapped to me like this, I have more leverage with that wibbling of the neck. So I can wibble the neck without having to use both hands. I can use one hand to wibble the neck. So that's a very small aspect of having it strapped on me like this that I like. But also I like to wear my guitar relatively low. I have ridiculous, genuinely ape-like arms. And if my guitar were on a conventional strap and as low as I like it, the conventional strap would be really long and would be really loose and really, and I would have to accommodate that, and I'm not willing to.
Yeah. Yes. I saw your hand. What's he saying?
He wants to put somebody in the rafters so he can see. Why not just bring him up front? I mean, there's still room up here.
We'll do our other song, I guess.
Just be sure to not carry it.
Oh, yeah, true.
Just recording this to get him to sign it. We'll see.
I might have not used that
Yeah, we'll see. Not on.
He's going to tune. Any more questions while he's tuning? This is a normal part of our show. Yes.
The guitar sounds on Shellac Records are some of the most unique guitar sounds that I've heard, especially the shrill section of My Black Ass.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do to mic up those guitars? How do you create such a harmonic sound to the guitars in your
Yeah, I
records?
mean, the recording is a real accurate recording. So that's what it sounds like in front of the amp.
It doesn't sound like that here because this isn't...
It doesn't sound like that here because this isn't our normal rig. Steve, when we record and play live, he has two amplifiers running simultaneously. One of them is a tube amp, and one of them is a solid state amp. And the solid state sound is really super bright and harsh, almost a direct sound. So there's a mix of a tube cabinet with a direct sound for the guitar. The bass is always just mic'd. There's never a direct sound on the bass. But we just picked the mics that make it sound the same as it sounds when you're standing in front of it, pretty much.
Yeah. We don't do anything special in the studio. What we're doing on stage is basically the same thing that we do in the studio. It's just in the studio we
have a lot of mics to choose
from. Be a lot more fussy
so
about
you can pick the appropriate mic to make it sound right.
Yeah. It varies a lot. We've done a lot of recordings. Normally, he asked if we used a room mic as well.
I think we've recorded one a lot. We don't always use it for the bass and for the guitar.
Yeah, it varies for the drums, depending on if the
drums always have room.
Yeah, in a dead room or a live room, there's something about having microphones a few feet away from the drums that makes the drums sound more realistic to me.
When we record, we always have the drums in their own isolated room, and the guitars in another room or two other rooms, and we'll all stand with Todd, but our amps are in another room, so that you can turn up the drum ambience mics. You can turn them up without hearing guitars in them. Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Sure. I mean,
or do you want to see it? We're gonna. We're gonna do 2 more instead of 1. Is that okay?
This bonus track features the harmonic percolator fuzz pedal.
Listen for it towards the end.
Distortion box is called the harmonic percolator. The original ones are super trendy, collectible, rare, blah blah blah. Don't worry
Is
about
it some dude in a garage?
Yeah, it's a crazy nut in Milwaukee made these. He had a PA sound
How
company.
many did he make?
A few hundred. But there's a guy named Chuck Collins who does a remake of them. He uses the original parts, the same cabinets, the same, everything about them is the same. So if you buy a modern one from the Chuck Collins, I think they're called Thermionics Company. Actually, I don't remember. But Chuck, if you just Google harmonic percolator, Chuck Collins, then you'll find a guy that sells them. And the new ones that he makes are essentially identical. Like I've had them in the studio side by side and compared them, and they're essentially identical. I wouldn't hesitate to use one of those instead. I just happen to have an old one.
Any other questions?
If everyone could just agree to pay like $100 on the way out, then we don't have to
We
play
can
the
skip
other
the other
show.
show. Any others?
What kind of headphones do you like to wear?
What kind of headphones do I like to wear?
Headphones are rough.
In what
In the
context?
studio context, is that what you're asking?
For mixing? Yeah, I would never use headphones ever for mixing.
Yeah.
Do you use headphones at all?
Yeah, for tracking when you need to.
Oh yeah,
to
for
hear.
when you're recording.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I like
care.
headphones that stay on my head. I don't particularly care what they sound like. There used to be.
Someone makes the ones that are like shooters headphones with drivers in them.
Vic,
For like drum
Vic
isolators.
Firth makes a pair of
Vic
isolators.
Firth, drummer
The problem with
headphones.
those is that they're not very sturdy. We've blown up 1 million pairs of those. There's another company called Extreme Isolation, and they make headphones that are sort of like that. They're like shooting hearing protectors, but with things in them, and they stay on your head.
I use in-ear monitor things just for my iPod, just when I'm traveling. That doesn't count, right? But they're fitted. They're like the kind that like people use on stage as in-ear monitors. I just use those with an iPod.
A bit of advice. Are there any drummers here this evening?
No.
Are you the only
It's a
one?
guitar store.
All right. If you ever do any recording and you're wearing headphones, my recommendation would be one ear on, one ear off. Took me a decade to discover that. Whenever we recorded, I felt like it was a really
I do that too.
unrealistic
We all do that.
experience to me. I felt really removed from my instrument because I never had rehearsed with headphones on. And when it came time to record, I felt really removed from the drum kit. And
Yeah,
I
you're like
lost,
disconnected. You're not in the room with it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I lost the nuances, especially with the hi-hat. I found that like the earlier recordings in a previous band I was in, part of being in a band with these two excellent gentlemen, the hi-hat was always really, really tight, and it didn't have any wash to it. It didn't have any sizzle to it. It was really tight, and I think it was because I had headphones on, and I couldn't hear the nuances of the drum kit. So I would recommend a one ear on, one ear off sort of experience. It keeps you in touch with your instrument and with your bandmates. So that would be a recommendation I have. It's a small and subtle thing. It makes an enormous difference for me in enjoying the recording process, as opposed to it becoming this foreign thing that we do every 7 years.
Hey Todd.
Yeah, you follow up for that?
Just curious, when you're recording drums, with the stereo mics, do you set them up over the axis of the kick and the snare, or do you just put them out in front of the kit?
I think we try different things.
Yeah, we've
Lately
done-
it's been out front.
Well, lately I've had spot mics over the two crash cymbals, and then also a stereo mic in front of the
Like an
drum kit.
XY stereo mic?
Yeah.
Or MS.
Or an MS or Bloomline stereo
It's like
mic.
2 or 3 feet in front at like belly level, sort of.
Nutsack level.
Yeah.
Or higher.
Hey,
And that, for some reason, like the stereo image from in front of the drums, like if you're listening to the drums from here, it sounds fairly even. When you listen to the drums through the overhead
Overheads.
microphones, you end up getting a lot of snare drum and a lot of cymbals and some sort of clatter from the other drums, but it's not doesn't sound that great. I don't know how the convention developed to record
The overheads.
the overheads, but
I never liked overheads overhead.
yeah, I use those as spot mics to accent the individual cymbals, but I tend to use more of the stereo image from in front of the drum kit. Occasionally, a stereo image from drummer's perspective, if I can fit mics in so that they're sort of more where the drummer's head is, because that's sort of what will sound normal to the drummer. But
And then we'll have a pair of mics out on the floor, like used as like the pressures on mics. Just some omnis taped to the floor.
And sorry, with those two mics,
What?
with those two mics out on the floor,
Yeah.
I found like with Omnis that if I keep them side by side, I get
What
like,
is side by side?
well, right beside each other on the floor. And
Oh
then
yeah, we have them
hand
spread
left and
out
right,
at like
you spread
in like
them.
a 60-degree triangle.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Kind
there's
of
a rule of thumb for that's called A/B stereo recording. Like the
Like a spread.
three basic kinds of stereo recording are there's coincident stereo recording where you have two
Like
microphones
XY or MS.
as close together as possible, looking in different directions, directional microphones looking in different directions, but from the same point. That's called coincident stereo recording. There's A/B stereo recording, which is where you have two separate microphones, like one over here and one over here. And
Are
the
those
rule,
omnis usually?
it can be typically,
Whatever.
yeah, whatever they are. The A/B is that you have one for the left side of the universe and one for the right side of the universe. And then coincident is that you have a single stereo point, a location point, which is looking in stereo in two different directions, like this or like that. Then the third is it's a kind of coincident stereo called mid-side stereo, where you have a center channel microphone and a side microphone, and you synthesize a stereo image by using the phase relationship of those two. It's kind of too complicated to get into in an in-store, but I can draw you a diagram somewhere. But anyway, the rule of thumb for A/B stereo recording is that the distance between the two microphones should be at least the distance between the microphones and the thing that you're recording. So, like if you have them set in an equilateral triangle, then you're probably going to get some center channel information. If you have them wider than that, you'll have less center
You
channel
have a hole in
information.
the middle.
You have more discrete stereo. Now, if you're using those stereo microphones, like the ambient microphones for the drum recording or something like that, you're using those as sort of as an effect to like broaden the sound of the drums. Then you don't care if you have a natural stereo image on those two mics. They're bonus mics. And that's
But if they're-
often the way we would use it.
Yeah, not as the main sound, more as like the reverb.
Yeah, to bring the room up.
The last question I have for you. Only 2 drummers in the room here? Is that right?
Damn.
Hey Todd.
More of you should play drums. So what you do is you take a stick and then you whack this thing and it makes a noise. Instant gratification. Don't we all enjoy instant gratification?
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. A question?
Yeah, do you still put keys in the hi-hat, or is that only when you record live? I mean, record.
To what? Do
Well, Steve did a clinic where he showed recording a drum set where he put his massive stack of keys inside of the hi-hat.
Keys?
We don't need to do
We've
that.
never done
Todd's better. For crappy drummers that hit the hi-hat too hard. There's a thing in certain styles of music, especially like thrash punk or like the blast beat drumming for metal music or whatever, or just if you have a really crappy drummer, it's really easy if your hands are crossed when you're playing the drums. You know, your right hand is hitting the hi-hat and your left hand is hitting the snare drum, so your hands are crossed. So you have to get...
I'm going to interrupt. Don't do that. Everybody does that. That's wrong. Do you eat dinner like this? Or do you drive your automobile like this? Kids, do you ride your bicycles like this? Do you tie your shoes like this? We don't do anything like this. So I tell every drummer, like, open yourself up. You might have to sacrifice a tom in order to do this, but get your hi-hat more in front of you. You don't have to play your hi-hat like this. You don't have to sit behind your drum set like this. Don't make it challenging. Make it easy. Sit like this. Open. It's much more graceful and fluent, and then you're not handcuffed. I mean, it's okay to get handcuffed occasionally, but you don't want to do it all night long behind the drum kit. Open yourself up like this.
But the problem that comes up when your hands are crossed like that...
It's not a problem. He's right. He's always right.
No. When the conventional drummer has his hands crossed like that, he can hit his hi-hat a lot harder than he can hit his snare drum. So inevitably, you end up having super loud hi-hat and the snare drum is not loud enough. And the microphone, and if the music is super fast music, typically they'll have the drum set set up in very compact way so that they can hit everything really quickly. So that puts everything very close together, and that way the snare drum microphone is hearing a lot of the hi-hat, and you end up with a lot of extra hi-hat. Hi-hat is a satanic instrument. I don't know who invented it, but whatever. He's rotting in hell right now. But so the problem is that when you're recording, the hi-hat ends up being much louder than the snare drum, which is not intuitive. It's not what you expect to hear when you're listening to music. So one of the methods that I've found to deal with that is to throw a bunch of keys or coins inside the hi-hat so that there's things in there weighing the hi-hat down, jangling around inside the hi-hat, deadening the hi-hat somewhat. It's not a miracle, it doesn't work miracles, but it takes the edge off a little bit. That's what this fellow was referring to.
How about Jell-O?
There's always room for Jell-O.
What about a potato?
sort of an opportunity to share some little insights that we've gleaned over the 30-something years that we've all been playing in bands. And the number one thing that I would give as a piece of advice is not to listen to people who don't understand your music. Like, people who don't get you and who are not in your band may tell you that shit you're doing is weird or wrong or inappropriate, or that, you know, you'll never get anywhere with it. All of those people are not in the band, and none of those people matter. So you can just tune that stuff out as a white noise. Follow your instincts. Every band that I've ever worked with or ever liked has had something distinct and unique about them that wouldn't have been there if they had taken advice from other people. So my advice is not to take advice from
Any other questions? Yeah, ma'am.
What's your favorite song to play?
Favorite song to play? We're an American band.
My favorite,
Let me think.
My favorite thing recently is when Bob sings the Squeeze song, Pulling Muscles from a Shell, at sound check. That's my favorite thing that happens in the band.
Come on. Come on, Bob.
What about you, Todd?
What's your favorite shellac song?
I don't know, I'm sorry. I really like playing a lot of our songs. Most of our songs. Maybe all of our songs. What do I like the most playing?
The one we just played
Yeah.
is called Dude Incredible. And,
I get one.
and I like playing that song because the guitar part in the beginning is odd. I've never played a guitar. There are no other songs that we have where I play a guitar part that's like that linear. I figured it out at one point. It's a compound measure of 1 bar of 6 and 1 bar of 8, making a compound measure of 14.
I don't want to know that.
Or
mess everything up.
yeah, whatever it is. I've never had a guitar part like that. I like playing that little riff, so I look forward to that one every night.
Yeah, I realized which one I really love playing lately. It's from the 1-year-old record. I really like playing "You Came in Me." That's really fun to play. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah! Yeah, Todd.
Come on.
You want to play it?
What about you? What's your favorite?
The one where I'm awesome. That one where I'm awesome. That's my favorite one.
All of them?
Let's play one more.
All right. Thank you guys should all, thanks to Mr. Tim here for making this available to
Hey! that. I apologize. I shit all over Bob's song. That was Bobby's favorite song. I'm sorry,
I don't
Bobby.
know what the fuck
I
is going on.
am so sorry, Bobby Bananas. I apologize.
Let's see, did anybody know? Yeah, everybody probably knew. But we ended at the same time.